Hi everyone, my name is Priyanka and welcome to my vlog. Today I am going to talk about how to handle mental pressure. See, the reason why you have mental pressure is because you are always trying to please people. Now, it's a habit that you've picked up as a child because when you are children, you want to please people, you want to get their attention. But as an adult, we need to unlearn this habit of ours because at the end of the day it's just a habit that you have picked up from your childhood, and now this is a habit that's causing a lot of stress in your life. So how do we know that we are taking a lot of pressure in our life? The main factor you will see when you take in pressure is that you will have sleepless nights, you will have palpitations, you will in fact fear everything in your life, and you will overwork, you will overthink, and just see the way you are responding to your everyday situations. Now let's say you have a job or you're a housewife, you're taking care of your kid. Now these are everyday normal situations. I'm not talking about extraordinary circumstances, I'm just talking about normal situations in your life. And just see the way you are reacting to these situations. See the way you're reacting to traffic. Heavy traffic is causing you a lot of stress. You are abusing the next rider or the next driver, and that is exactly where you want to see where is it that you are losing your cool, you're losing your patience, you're irritated, you're angry, you're frustrated with life. And one more thing you will do is you will keep on complaining about your life to everybody. In fact, you will use certain words in your life. Those terminologies that you will use would be something like, I'm under a lot of pressure, I feel overworked, I am tired, I'm fatigued. Gently talk about this life of yours to people around you. And that is when you should get a clear understanding that you are taking a lot of pressure in your life, you're taking a lot of stress about just everyday normal things in your life. Stress about job, stress about educating your children, stress about taking care of your parents, stress about your body and your image, what kind of image you've created around others. And these are the kind of stresses that you want to remove from your life, because at the end of the day everybody has to lead this life, everybody has to live through this life. Now the choice is upon you whether you want to lead a life that is okay, not that stressed, or you want to lead a life that is full of stress, because that stress is born out of your own thinking process. And today I'm going to teach you two ways in which you can reduce that stress. Now I've divided stress that you take, pressure that you take, into two categories. One is the change of mindset. Now you need to change this mindset of yours, because until unless you do that, everything will remain the same. And second is a change of your lifestyle, because until unless you create certain healthy habits in your life, no matter what kind of mindset you have changed, you will be prone to stress in this life. There are two areas of the brain that take the most amount of stress. The first one is the frontal lobe, and the second one is the hippocampus. And hippocampus is around your brain and in the middle part of it. Now, what does frontal lobe do? It takes care of your emotions, it takes care of setting up of goals and decision making. And hippocampus is the core where your memories are stored. Now what happens when you take up stress is that all the neurons that were firing together start to drop that kind of connection that they had, and your cells start dying. So you have to ensure that you reduce the stress in this life, because unless you do that, your brain is getting affected by it, and when your brain gets affected by it, your bodily functions also get affected by it. The first category being a change in lifestyle. Now in this, the first thing that you need to do is you need to exercise, because the moment you exercise, you are ensuring that the oxygen reaches your brain, that brain cells that were dying can regenerate themselves, the connections, the neurons that were firing and wiring together can start firing and wiring together. And this gives you not just a great body, but a glamorous mind as well. So you need to pay attention to exercising, and if you just do brisk walk for let's say 3 days in a week for 45 minutes, that is more than enough. but you need to be consistent in your exercise regimen, because that is how you can reduce stress in your life. Next is that you need to eat smart. Avoid outside food. I keep repeating, it doesn't give you any nutrition, it doesn't give you any energy. Increase the amount of vegetables and fruits in your diet. Have enough water, hydrate yourself. Take up meditation. Meditation is an exercise for the mind to relax it, and a lot of research has been done on meditation, which shows that when you meditate, you become more focused, more organized, and in fact it repairs your DNA too. So if you are smart enough and you know that you're under stress, you should at least sit down for 15 minutes of meditation every day. You need to get 8 hours of sleep, and ensure that you are not overworked. If you are in a workplace where you are told to overwork and spend sleepless nights, then you should decide on what is more important, that work or your life. So if you are overworked, you should quit that job. Find a job that is at least allowing you to get 8 hours of sleep, because without proper sleep, you will never be able to remove stress in your life. Now, these are the kind of things that you can do to change your life around. But it's just not about lifestyle. We are talking about a holistic approach. And unless we change our mindset, it will not be an entire process. So now we are going to talk about the change of mindset that we need to bring in to reduce the pressure in our life. Now, the first thing that you need to understand is that you are taking pressure in this life because you want to please people. Now, these are the kind of people that you surround yourself with. They are your parents, your in-laws, your siblings, your spouse, your children. And you want to take on pressure because it allows you to feel validated, allows you to be seen, to be respected. But at what cost? Because you are fulfilling someone else's dream or aspirations, then you need to wake up. There is no amount of pressure that can bring forth any amount of respect. People usually end up paying a high price to be recognized. You have to decide for yourself what is more important, that validation that you want to seek from outside world, that might bring you some sort of fulfillment for a while, but it might not really make you feel happy or contented in this life. So please step back from the pedal, take a foot back from that pedal of yours where you want to please everybody, because if you are a people pleaser, you will find yourself taking too much stress for unwanted reasons. Work hard for, your parents, your spouse, your children, but at least do not take pressure for that, because at the end of the day, they want you around. They don't want to lose you to stress. That should be a wake-up call for you. You want to be a perfect version of yourself. You want to portray to the world that I am this person. I am absolutely clear in my goals. I'm absolutely clear on what I am doing in this life. Now, life is not a linear line. It is about, going up and then coming down, having good days, having bad days, having good memories, having bad memories. And for you to understand this aspect of your life is very, very important, because the moment you do understand that, you will stop looking for perfection in anything that you do or anything that you want to achieve in your life. Do take pressure because you want everything to be perfect. You want to have this version of yourself shown to the world that I am perfect in my job, I'm perfect in my marriage, I have perfect children, they go to perfect schools. You are not living in a unicorn world. This world has its grays, its blacks and white, and that is how you should live your life. A lot of people feel that, they are not being understood. Their parents don't understand them, their spouse don't understand them, their children don't understand them, because they're putting in too much pressure on themselves to please the kind of people that they surround themselves with. And when that appreciation doesn't come their way, that understanding doesn't come their way, they are not applauded for their efforts, what happens is that they feel irritated, they feel fatigue setting in, mental fatigue setting in, because they had created this expectation, this bar of expectation, that if I do this much, I will be appreciated even more. So now what's happening is that once you realize that that appreciation is not coming, that understanding is not coming, you put yourself under more pressure and you start fighting with your, the people that you surround yourself with, because that is how you want to, impress upon them that, I have been doing so well, and why don't you appreciate me? Why don't you understand me? Isn't that what's happening in your life? But you need to stop doing that. You need to stop trying to make people understand you. Now imagine all these people, if you look at them closely, they are themselves going through a lot of chaos in their life. So let's imagine there's a very nice pond and a boat comes in, and now it creates a big wake behind it. And if you throw a stone just when that wake is coming in, can you see the bottom of, can you see the stone? You won't be able to see it because of the rippling water. But if you were to wait and for the pond to calm down, and if you were to throw a stone, then you would be able to see the bottom of the pond and be able to see that stone. And that's exactly what life is trying to teach you, a lesson that you are trying to find understanding from people who are going through their own chaos, and you will never get that understanding because they lack understanding themselves. And that is the reason why you need to start becoming spiritual. When you become spiritual, when you start attaching yourself to the divine, now divine is always present, always there for you. And that supreme consciousness is where you can find that kind of understanding on who you are. And once you do that, I'm telling you, you will find a lot of peace and calm just coming into your life. And you do not want to wait for some individual to give you that kind of understanding. You don't have to wait for that. That understanding that you are trying to get from others is something that you can get from yourself just by connecting with the divine. Once you become spiritual, you will never ever go through this phase again in your life where you want people to understand you, because the only person who needs to understand you is you. Be very, very careful of the internal dialogue that you're having with yourself, because what happens is that once we get into this whole phase of trying to please people, we also keep on getting a lot of feedback from the people that we surround ourselves with, and that is where we start taking mental pressure. So somebody is giving you some sort of feedback that is absolutely not your truth, that is not who you are, that is not the kind of person that you are, but you want to take it at face value. You want to give their truth, their understanding of you, or their perception of you. I would say the word perception rather than understanding. Then what you're doing is you are hooking yourself to a broken boat. The water is coming in, but you don't want to see it. And that is the kind of negative thinking that you should avoid. And to do that, you have to pay attention to your internal dialogue. Now, your internal dialogue is always making you aware of the kind of state of turmoil that you're in. So the moment you realize that somebody has said something to me and I'm just reacting to that situation or to that individual's feedback, and I'm taking on even more pressure because this individual has, created this image of me or this understanding or perception of me, what I need to do is I need to step back, go into a stable mind of mine, a stable dimension of mine. And that stability can only come, as I said, if you start paying attention to your spiritual side. I'm going to give you a small story about two brothers, and this way you can understand how mental pressure can wreak havoc in your life and in your decision making. Because your decision making, if it is based on just people pleasing and trying to take on the pressure of the world, then you will understand very much from the story. So there were two brothers, Ram Lal and Shyam Lal, and they lived in a very small town. Now, Ram Lal was very, very good in studies. He was straight A student. He listened to his parents, to his teachers. He was always people pleasing. Whereas Shyam Lal was, a naughty child. He didn't pay attention to his parents. He didn't pay attention to his teachers. And he was always, in a good mood. He was always trying to use his mind and intellect and do all kinds of things, used to make a lot of stuff from his own creation. and nobody really paid attention to him. They thought that he was probably stupid. So what happened? Ramlal and Shamlal went to college. Of course, Shamlal was not that good in studies because he had a very creative mind. And Ramlal secured good grades throughout the school and in college. He, got first division. And he soon landed a job in a top company and he left his small town. Whereas Shamlal, because he wasn't doing so well, was left behind. And because Ramlal, by that time, the society had created this divide among the brothers that, Ramlal, you're amazing, you're doing so well. Ramlal got married and, he had this perfect family, he had a perfect flat in a big city, he was working in a big corporation. Whereas Shamlal, he had no idea what he was doing. He felt that, Shamlal is a loser and he is not going to associate himself with such a loser of a brother. And he'll be a needy person because he's not doing so well. So he might ask me for money. So Ramlal kept on avoiding him. Now 20 years later, he came back to his small town because he had some work. And when he entered the town, he was quite shocked because the town had, prospered. There was a big hospital and a big school at the entrance of the town. And now he was confused. He said, how come there's so much of development in this town? And when he came in, now his 2-story small house was replaced by a big palatial house. Now that did, throw him a little back. He said, I have no idea, to his wife, that how come my house became so big and, maybe this is not my house. But then he was even more confused because he saw his brother coming down the steps of the house to greet him with a big smile. And just outside of the house was a big garage and there were a lot of big cars there. And people were cleaning those cars. Now he even got more confused. He said, this definitely cannot belong to my brother Shamlal because he was a loser. He really, never paid attention to anyone. He was never listening on to my parents or to the teachers. And he was a naughty boy and he never bothered to study well. So and so forth. He had been, narrating this story to his children all the way when he was coming from the big city of his. And of course, he had bought a new SUV. So he wanted to show to his brother that, I'm doing very well and I'm just at the top of my game. And in a way, he wanted to prove that to his brother that, he had always been right about how, he had worked hard and gotten where he was. Ramlal came to know that the hospital and the school belonged to his brother and he was in fact quite successful. So he was now flabbergasted. He wanted to ask his brother how did he conjure up so much of wealth and how he was doing so well. Shamlal vehemently thanked his brother. He said, thanks to you, I was never able to impress anybody, and because I was a disappointment, everybody had very low expectation of me. So I could do anything in this life. You took up all the pressure. And because you took up all the pressure, I was free to be me and I was free to work around whatever was given to me. So this is what life is. You should be able to work with what you have in this life rather than trying to prove your point. Your decision making should be based on what you want to do in life, not what others expect out of you. And the day you make this a mantra in your life that I want to live my life on my own terms, not on the terms set by this society or this world or my parents or my spouse, then you will do better in life. It's not about ill-treating others. It is about stopping the ill treatment you're doing to yourself. You are responsible for your decisions, and if you do not bring clarity in your life, you will always stay under pressure. So you need to be very, very clear in this life on what you want to do rather than what others expect you to do in this life. I hope you liked my vlog, and if you liked my vlog, do like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching and see you soon.